Hello. So I should probably adjust these. Need to figure out what to put for that. Yo, Casual. Welcome. Alrighty. So what I was thinking I'll do today, I'll spend some time doing some practice, but then after that I was going to take a look at some Yoshi sets, just because I do think that I want to kind of spend a little bit of time for making sure that I can see some of those interactions and how they play out. Ping actually has some sets, which is good, because I don't want to ping all that often, but sometimes I do. So good to see. You want to see some slingshots? Hold on. Oops, that's not quite a slingshot. I'm a little better on one side, this is the other. Oop. Oops. Like that, basically. I really gotta drop using dash walks as much as I am. It's a hard habit to break, though. But I've gotta get rid of it. This one here, this is IDG in there. Hold on a second. This is what full hop would look like. Sometimes you can tell when someone does an IDJ if the little feathers come out, but it's not guaranteed to actually be that the case. So yeah. It's honestly not that usable, but it is technically very good. But you are generally not going to find someone locked down for that long on the platform. Otherwise, I'd use it a lot more, because then you would be able to do stuff like this. Basically just gives you a chance to farm clips. At least in training mode. I wonder why it feels so weird. Feels like something's not actually, my tap jump's not coming out as often as it should, or something. Or maybe I'm just kind of, that's weird. Can work for IDG Nair down smash kill confirm. I'm sure if you delayed it a little bit, you could probably do something like that. Hold on, sorry. Let's just put it up really high. Let's just do like this. Because basically the idea is you have to like get it landed like that, right? And so if you do it a little bit delayed, oh my gosh, why am I so bad at it right now? I'm going to try a different controller. I'm blaming the controller on this one. Let's try this guy out. Now, if that is the case, This is interesting. Let's try this guy out. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So if you delay it a little bit, then you could do something like that. But you do have to be careful when you fast fall. Like if you saw where he kind of teleported behind me, oftentimes when you fast fall, it doesn't really work the way that you're supposed to, or the way that you want it to, I find. But yes, you could do this, for example. I think it's a pretty good idea. That's probably a good usage for it there. Generally what I end up doing a lot of the times is I will basically hop underneath like this, and then I'll basically make a auto-cancel pressure, which I can then kind of lead into other things, but I don't use the IDJ version. Yeah, you can definitely lab it, casual. There's a good number of people who've taken a look at it. The main one that normally most people end up using with this sort of setup is they basically do like a drag down with the inside hit into a grab like that. That's generally where you'll see it. But like I said, you're generally not going to find someone on platform for that long. At least not shielding it. But what's nice about it is the fact that it can auto-cancel, right? So, I mean, you're not really putting yourself at much risk if they end up blocking it. It's just if they move out of the way, you could be a little bit of a sitting duck. Or you sacrifice kind of potential, shark potential, by going onto the platform itself. Which is why I'll sometimes kind of shark underneath to make sure that they're going to stay there before I commit to something like a nair. Helps out with also sort of forcing a bit of a panic option out of them. But in theory, you could do like a nair into grab, like basically with IDJ nair, and then grab right off of it. Would be also pretty cool. That might be something I might try out. I feel like my precision's really gone down. Yo, what's up, Silver86? I saw your comment on one of my recent videos, saying that your tag is silver and you also play pit. What's up, though? Funny how that works out. Holy cow. Maybe I really do need to work on this stuff. I'm so out of it. One thing that's really been causing me a lot of trouble has been my inability to get RARs. The other Canadian silver, are you... Well, there's actually two Canadian silvers that I know of. I've played against the one that's ZSS, if that's the one you're talking about. We played actually just once, I think. Maybe twice, but if we played before, it was a really, really long time ago. Yeah, we've played. I won 3-1. It was Pit ZSS. Or no, sorry, it was 3-0. I don't think they're active anymore. But they did ask me about teaming at Gommel, which has me thinking that they might be going. I know they sometimes get passes though and sell them, resell them later. So, no guarantees, but just a thought. There's another silver in the very east of Canada who plays Inkling, which is also very funny. Silver's a very common tag. Yes, they are very good. 100%. I was kind of lucky when I matched up into them at the time because I was in winner's side of Grands, and I don't think that they had a full head of steam. They might have used it up or something when they were making their losers run. That's at least kind of how I saw it. You're out of SoCal? Okay, gotcha. Do I think reverse dare combos are worth going for? Generally no. Unless there's something like down throw. Reverse hit dare is way more DI-able than front hit dare. So, I'm personally not the biggest fan of it. Which is why I also don't really like going for it as the 2-frame option. Even though, muscle memory-wise, that's kind of how it lines up. But the front hit of dare or the middle hit of dare is a way better for that sort of thing. Middle hit sour spot. Nice. That's very centered. Okay. I practiced something real quick here because I've been really, really bad at turnarounds. Like for RAR bears and for down tilt bears. Yeah, I wish we could do that sort of stuff too. Again, you probably saw when I was playing against Titanium, but sometimes you can catch people not paying attention or not knowing how true its strings are, and in that sense, then you can kind of get some confirms that might not actually be true. So, for example, do like a double dare, like a second dare to extend the combo and drag it out even further. In which case, the nair afterwards can sometimes be true, I think. But I can't confirm 100%. Up A without jumping? Like up air or up tilt? Like this? For me, it's a lot of practice because I have tap jump. Just getting used to kind of like where my controller will feel comfortable actually inputting it without jumping. It's not to say that I don't mess it up though, as you can see. Some of that has to do depending on the controller though. So I guess what I've realized with my current controller setup is that my main seems to have a much more, I don't know what to call it, has a less sensitive threshold for tap jump. I have to hit it much more intently. So that way it is easier for me to do something like a sliding up tilt or whatever with this controller, but it's harder for me to do stuff like IDJ. I have to be very intentional with it. And it also seems to be kind of drifting me into spaces that I don't know if I really like. So you can see that I'm like trying to really kind of like wonder if it has a little bit of some issues with the analog. I usually rotate through a bunch of different controllers because of some of these sort of issues that come through, but they're pretty much the only controllers for me at the moment. I don't really like how a lot of the other ones feel. I'm very, very particular about how the controllers are. So this one, for example, does feel very good. The only problem with this one is that it does have, it has vertical snapback on the analog stick. So sometimes I'll try to tap down to fast fall and it will tap jump, which is not good. Trying to see if I can get it to happen. Doesn't seem to be misbehaving right now. Maybe I need to let it warm up a little bit. But the problem with this one is the fact that it does seem rather easy for me to jump by accident. But at least when I input something like straight up or whatever, I feel like I'm actually in control of the spacing. But with my other one, I'm kind of DIing, or not DIing, I'm drifting forward, which is a bit of a problem because it affects my spacing. That's why it's important to know your controller. Okay, let's do the thing that I actually said I was going to practice. That's good to hear. Yeah, see, this is the one, this is the input that's really giving me trouble. I guess I have to do it like that. Start with the turnaround and then adjust the beat. It often comes out as a forward air. Someone's commented before about like, why do you keep doing fair? This is part of the reason why I'm just bad at this input apparently. So I won't pretend like I'm super good at it. But yeah. Noops spotted. Is that what you call them? Noops? I do like them. They're very fun to do. I just have a horde of GameCube controllers, but I would assume for your case there it sounds like you use Pro GCC. Did I add an extra C? GCC. I don't know. I can't use custom GameCube controllers. I really can't. I do not like how they feel. But that's a me problem. Yours is a fob. Okay, I see. I mean, to be honest, a lot of times this combo is pretty close to true, or otherwise it just kind of sets up into a really good situation. So pretend that somebody does like a directional air dodge out of this, or air dodges down. It still or not air dodges down, but neutral air dodges. It still results in a really bad situation for them. So I actually really like this setup. SDI hurts the noobs. Actually, maybe casual, you can share some info on this, because I was told that at one point the original Nair hits don't matter very much for SDI, but I don't know how true that actually is, because I feel like when I try and do counter SDI, it actually does work pretty well for like either making a drop or like put in weird spots. I know the last hit, for the very least, you want to be SDIing pretty hard, but like the tiny hits in between, I feel like there actually is some degree to which SDI affects it. If so, I've been gaslighting people for a while. SDIing behind pit for the noops makes it really hard to get the up tilt afterwards. I see. Well, they're not... It's not a particularly easy option, to be honest. It's very execution heavy for the pit player. They have to do very well to even get it close to a legit option. Because you have to get there in time to catch it before the air dodge can come out, and then you have to auto cancel it and then throw an up tilt out or whatever before it actually ends up becoming a major problem for them when they try and kind of like choose an option like jump or other sort of things. No, I don't think they're a bad option at all. But I will say that there are situations where I think the problem with it is really the fact that you're kind of risking guaranteed punish with a pseudo reset. I would say 90% of the time it's a pseudo reset. You won't see players like Zachary or Meterin use it because you could just get reliable true damage. And I think that's a pretty legitimate way of dealing with it. Might even be better than doing the noops, but I think they look swag. There are some situations where if I think that it's really not going to work out, then I'll just resort to the true punish. Yeah, something like that. At higher percents, they might just do like up tilt up air, something like that. There's still some situations where like a non-confirmed version of it will still be very good. So for example, if you do like an up tilt air, I'm sending him off stage here. So that's also very good. Up tilt up air is good too, but makes it maybe a little bit more ambiguous on the juggle. But depending on the character, that can be really good too. So all depends on what you think is more valuable. Dang, what the heck? Dude, why am I so bad at this? Holy cow. Spend some time practicing this, I guess. My arrow accuracy is really bad lately. Maybe not lately, but on this exercise, we'll just say. I think overall it's been not too bad recently. Depending on which input your brain just decides to go for. Yeah. Sometimes that just happens too, where it's almost kind of like you have two different options that you can do, but your brain defaults to one. That also will happen to me. Uh, I didn't know that, but that doesn't sound, I guess, that surprising. Don't they have a little bit of kind of like, not like completely flat edges? I don't know if I can really try out what you're suggesting here, but we'll just take a look at the platforms real quick. Yeah, you can see that there's like a little bit going on there. Like that is what you're talking about. Yeah, it's because of that. You can see the little dent, I guess you could say, in the platforms themselves. Collision moment. Okay. Is there anything that I really wanted to try out? Not necessarily. Okay, I think we can move to the VOD review portion. Okay. Let me get a VOD for us to look at here. I had it earlier, but my Ethernet wasn't connecting, so I had to make some adjustments. But it looks like Ping actually gets a decent amount of practice versus, well, maybe not a decent amount, but he has played against the same Yoshi a couple of times. Was something you tried out when doing some Steve matchup practice, because you tried shooting in a little gap and then you missed the gap, but it probably went through, is where you were probably going with the statement. Yeah, I remember we were talking about that when we were looking at the matchup, the two of us. Only do 50% of that without jumping. Okay, that is not the right one. Why is it showing up as that one then? Oh, I can't believe this. It didn't matter anyway, but that could have been a VOD deleter, depending on the information displayed. It's still showing the wrong one. The frick, man? Fixed. Also, don't I have a capture that actually... Hold on. I guess I don't. Because I made Cookie Clicker the one. Cookie Clicker moment is coming back to bite me here. Okay. And if I... Well, the problem... Okay, hold on. If I go like this, this will fix everything. The problem is that I'm trying to do this with one screen. If I use two screens, then we have no problems at all. Okay, watch this. I get rid of this, and I turn on this, and then I go like this. Now we have an appropriate setup. I will need a quick sec though, because I need to move some stuff over. Okay, now everything is moved over already. Cool. So yeah, we're going to take a look at this set. There's not a whole lot that I'm going to be paying attention to, other than I'm just wanting to see kind of how he engages with some of the neutral pressure, and then also some of the edge guarding to see how he ends up getting that done. In a recent bracket here on the weekend, I got double eliminated by Yoshi. I don't think I necessarily played the matchup super bad or anything. I thought I played it fine. But there's definitely points of improvement. I feel like if I did have more experience against certain openers or certain kind of neutral interactions, that I could have come out on top. So, yeah, I just wanted to briefly go over that before I guess, move on. My right ear is really enjoying this. Okay. Jumps out. Youch. Now the spoilers is that Ping does win this, but yeah. Also, this is being played on a Saturday. Why is one of the commentators? Why is one commentator in right ear and then the other one is like both ears? Or wait, maybe it's actually the mic setup. Game is also in the right ear. Yeah. So the problem with Yoshi in this matchup, just to mention, is a lot of times when you actually send him back, I'm gonna bring this down. When you send him back, a lot of times he actually has a lot that he can do to avoid getting edge guarded. We just simply don't have the speed. And so what we're planning to normally intercept is the ledge grab itself or him being a little aggressive over the ledge. But unfortunately, it is not so easy. That's kill, yeah. Up tilt up air is such a crazy confirm. Nice. We do love that. Yeah, it's gonna hurt big time. He's getting kind of smacked this game, but he'll make some adjustments. Oh gosh, how did that not shield break? That's insane. This move just doesn't work sometimes. Like, it barely didn't push enough to go into the stars. Yeah, it is a very good confirm. That's an interesting idea to try and orbiter the egg. I guess that would make sense. I should have thought about that. You know, all things considered, he brought this back decently close now. Yep. Also just realized you guys aren't going to really hear the volume unless I turn it up more like this. Yeah, there are some setups like that. I actually had this happen in my set where he tried to go for a, I think it was like a regular grab, and I rolled past F smashed, and I still had enough time to like true punish it. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just down smash this. You can down smash this. I don't know. I just don't know if it would kill 100%, but with that DI for sure. Oh, that's it, yeah. And that's so fast that like you can't even really actually DI out of the way. Or not DI, but drift out of the way. That was nice. This is pretty gameplay. Look at this. So puts the pressure on, but he's ready for that down tilt. Which honestly, this is something I should probably consider a little bit more, because a lot of times I end up doing this, but with a back air, but it means that you have to rise up a lot higher in the air. This is a lower version of it where you can still fast fall on a full hop up air. Oh, this isn't me, Silver. This is Mr. Ping. Side B is a bad and good move. It's a little bit of both. Oh gosh. What? How? Wait, that move's broken. Or do you mean when I use the side B? Maybe I misunderstood what you were saying. I would say the most important usage for it is actually its armor over the movement. But that's what I would say. So this is a situation where they generally like to try and come below this stage here. And so something like a footstool is reasonable unless they air dodge through it or use up B, because then it'll block the footstool. But a down air in that spot is a good idea, I'd say. What I was thinking when I played my sets was that I wanted to do like a down air in place near the ledge here, because that way if they air dodge it, then I can still be in good position or be able to block and attack afterwards. That was the idea. Yeah, it's well, I mean, compared to everything else that Pitt has in his kit, I think you can make a decent argument for it being the worst. I don't even know what else can beat it, really, in that sense. Yeah, the up air into down tilt frame trap was really nice. That's one I'll have to use more of. See? This move sucks. Look at this. Come on, man. Come on. I know that he pancakes a little bit, but just grr. See, like, this is what'll happen sometimes if you're not prepared and you go for this same sort of trap, but then you react late. So this one, unfortunately, he is double jumping, so it means that you do have to go for back air. Like this, he does a, like, IDJ. So you do have to go for back air here, but I think it mostly has to do with the fact that he's a little late on the up air execution, because it looks like he does a back air pretty quick here. Yeah, well, I guess it's the fast fall that really does it. Because he does a fast fall here. That's where things get a little messy. Also, our grab. Gotta love it. Come on. Oh, this is huge. No! Why would you down air? But I don't know. I should be one to talk here. Justin's the one who wins. Or not Justin. I'm sorry. Ping is the one who wins. Not me. I lose. Oh, I'm bad. Ping knows something I don't. Does he know? I was curious about how to kind of cover the ledge jump kind of option. I did start going into forward air as well too. Yeah, our grab kind of sucks. At least our standing grab. Our dash grab's kind of great, but you generally don't want to be going crazy with dash grab. At least, you know, you're taking a risk when you do it, so that's the problem. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, if you're just prepared to DI the back, or sorry, if you're prepared to DI the down throw, then it's pretty good. Won't really do much for them. Ooh, this is big. Okay, he did try to get the nair off, but I think he just kind of messed up. Got caught on the other side. That happens. You like the dash tech cancel grab. Yeah. I remember, what was it? Who was it? Calamari, if you know Calamari, was saying that dash attack cancel grab doesn't really extend the grab distance, but I don't know if that's actually true. But I'm not nearly as much of a labber there. At the very least, what I thought was really nice about it is that when you do a dash attack cancel grab, you can kind of guarantee that extra distance. Yeah, I guess I never ended up using a reflector on the reflector on those eggs. I wouldn't say that they were an enormous factor in the matchup, but there were a couple situations where I was kind of respecting it maybe a little harder than I needed to. Wow, that was kind of... Yeah. I will do that sometimes too. I'll just hit it. Yeah, then the drift makes it really hard to get any punish. Yep. That's normal. This is normally. You always feel like such a fool when you get hit by the Yoshi down B. You're just like, man. Okay, this is good. This is very good. Oh, that forward air was nice. That's it. Yeah. This forward air did everything here. Grr, he jumped out so quickly. Boy, this is huge. No. See, like in this situation here, so I do get what he's trying to go for, trying to like extend for an edge guard. Unfortunately, Pit is just too slow a lot of times here. So what I was thinking is that if they do appear in this space, then you can kind of do like a full hop back air or something, like kind of raw out here. But then if they don't, that you cover this ledge area here. Because oftentimes they'll try and jump through the pressure, tank it like that, and then maybe throw a move out. So if you don't catch them on this portion, which could break the armor if you get like a strong enough hit. At this percent, maybe not though. I don't know if Sour Spot Dare is strong enough to break the armor here, but back air would be. But then if not, then you can at least hit them here with like a out of the hitbox portion. No, that was an F smash. I'm also a little sad that Dare is as SDIable as it is. The spike hit. I wish it wasn't. Oh yeah. It seems like in disadvantage the Orbiters is really not good though. But in advantage and neutral, it's actually not that bad. That's it, yeah. He just did it. Let's go. Let's go ping. My goat. Oh my gosh, wait, hold on. Yoshi's kind of schmoving. But Ping doesn't care because he is the chef. Yoshi is a bit of a masher. He can afford to do it though. Yeah, so stuff like this, for example, when he does this sort of like option here, being able to reflect it will at least nullify the interaction. Doesn't even really matter that much if it doesn't hit them. But yeah. And then what? If they had to try and get around that option, they're doing like a short hop or full hop egg toss, and they're not getting there anytime soon. Yo, Spike. Alright, that was pretty good. I'm surprised I didn't make it in time. It looked like it was going to hit. Yeah, so that one worked out, but it looks like it can very easily spike. Or not spike, very easily poke. That was a nice F smash. That was almost it. I also did try and catch like some aerial drift and stuff with up smash, but I never could really find like a proper situation for it. So I don't think it ended up being very valuable or as valuable in the matchup. Just get 2 stocks with side B so far. This move's crazy. Yeah, there's not getting... Okay. This was almost really good. So the thing is, I think if you play this differently, you just full drift in this, like, to the left here, because if they drift... Or you drift a little bit to the left, because if they do drift out, then you can do a dare. But otherwise, go for back air if they land on the plat. It is a kind of ambiguous situation, though, but you can see that he doesn't really get a chance. It'll never hit the same levels as the other moves in Pit's kit, but it has a lot of very important usages. The fact that you can snap to grab ledge with it is huge. The fact that you can armor things is huge. Just having an armor, period, basically can guarantee you past certain interactions. Adding that with a hitbox that has the ability to kill either off the sides or from center stage is really nice. Gets very, very strong with armor, or sorry, not armor, with rage too. See, like these ones, for example. So this is an example of one where maybe I should have considered it a little bit more. But I guess if I did a reflector there, I might actually get poked. But this one, maybe, who knows? Yeah, that barely caught. I was hoping that he'd get the snipe. That would have been hype. That's it, though.
Arrow gets the air dodge, and then you get right.
All right, well played, Ping. Well played. All right, I need to take a look at a couple things. I want to start off with Smasher's app because I just want to see if Ping has played against Justin a lot, or if this is like one of a few times. I don't actually know where Justin is from, so Why is it not going to show up? Huh? Justin. He's 5-0 against Justin. It's 25. Justin 25, not 24. Apparently. He's gone up one number. Interesting. Let's see his overview, though. There's some stuff I was going to do or say. 18 Chronos wins. 64 shoe wins is kind of crazy. And that's not even like, you can see, well, that's last 6 months, sorry. I would explain a little bit of it there. I don't know who Sung Jinwoo Aura is. Can I do it versus character? I don't actually know how to use this thing. I feel like it'd be here. I just wanted to see his record versus Yoshi, but I'm not really seeing a category for that. You can see some of it, but there's one Yoshi. This is closer, JFK. But they're an old school player, it looks like. Mobile app you can for sure. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's on here, at least from what I can tell. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I like 100% know how to make this work, but I feel like it'd be here in this versus. Maybe if I go like Yoshi. No, that doesn't work. Okay, that's fine. Not a big deal. So go back here. Oh yeah, I forgot. Wait, why did I hit this when I need to know what the sets are? Oh my gosh, I'm a fool. A real fool. This is a good freeze frame though. Player head-to-heads versus. I don't think I saw that there. So yeah, I think that might be an app only. Unfortunately. A lot of these are going to be pretty old, but we can still filter through it. This was one I was considering looking at. Little Fang versus Seth is pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's only 2 games, it looks like. Luminous and Pharaoh. Does Luminous win this? Is that why Pharaoh knew the matchup as well as he did? Is it because he plays against Luminous? That would explain a lot, actually. Because it felt like he did know the matchup pretty well. I think Luminous wins this. Maybe. He did. Very cool. Yeah, I'm just taking a look through a playlist for Yoshi's. Is that really the only one? Wait, hold on. That's why. That is the only one. Okay, very cool. They have played like 15 sets total. Okay, well, that explained a decent bit there. Shitadake. I wonder if I've heard of Shitadake. I have heard of Lunamato. Wait, is this one offline? This is offline. I actually want to see this. I've never watched Lunamato. Lunamato's choice pick was Black Pit or Dark Pit. Maybe for neutral potential. I could see that though. Because there's not too much you can do on the edge guarding portion. You can interrupt like the egg tosses. That's generally where I found the practicality. But you're not interrupting the armor. Okay, that good start. Gosh, the way that Mark does such close pressure. We'll see if he's able to keep that up. Yeah. In a lot of these situations, I like to just try and wait out to see if they're going to do like an air dodge or something, because a lot of times that they kind of have no choice. But at the very least, like by doing the option that he did here, by doing this down air, he's still repositioning really well. So he doesn't really lose the ledge trap off of it, which again, that's something to always consider with your setups. Make sure that you're not giving up the follow-up afterwards. Or otherwise, if you are, you better hit. Yeah, I don't know about down tilt or down smash, but I can kind of see the vision. Alright, got caught in the orbiters. Worked out though. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Oh my gosh, he actually caught it for real. Big point blank arrow. No! The snapback near. Oh! Mark's gaming. This movement. Oh my gosh. No. Ledge play is kind of tricky too, I find. Like getting off of ledge versus Yoshi. Like you just kind of have to figure out what they're trying to do. But you have to be pretty fast on the draw. Make sure you don't get like spiked or something by forward air. That was nice. Yeah, I find that when you do this back air, I noticed this in the ping set as well too, but when you do this back air and you dash out, it's not that easy for him to actually get a punish. He has to like call out that space pretty heavily. So, yeah. Ooh. But it still doesn't kill. That's the problem. So it's not really that much different than like down air or... not that different from down air or back air, but it probably breaks the armor earlier. Nice. Yeah, loop around. Ooh! Wait, hold on, that's huge. Look at this. You literally just tell Yoshi, alright, bro, back off. Back up. Because he's not going to kill you off of straight up that, but it's an interesting idea. It is very vulnerable, though. You could just wait for a punish after the fact. He keeps grabbing, though. I guess he's just like, alright, I'll take the free damage. Oh, that's not it. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Lunomato, clutch up, please. That's it, okay. Game set. Uh-oh. This is a best of 3 and it's 12 minutes long. You know what that means. Also interesting. Okay, so I'm pretty sure when I played, they banned Smashville on me. But that's where Mark took him. Interesting. I'm trying to remember the stages they got rid of. I think they got rid of Smashville and Town on me, if I'm not mistaken. So then I had I asked one of them if I could just go back to Small Battlefield. That's where we played our set for the most part. And then I took one of them to FD as well, which I didn't think the FD game went all that bad, but wasn't a huge difference, I guess. Dang, he just catches that. Yo, up throw? The rare up throw. Ooh, F tilt. Okay, this could be huge. No, or not. So this doesn't break the armor even at like 70 or 80, I think. I remember I tried to do this to try and break out of the combo, but then I got up aired afterwards like that. I do kind of wish I had my set streamed. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Come on. This is neutral. Hold on. It's like back here, back here, back here, back here, back here, back here, and he's just like, all right. And then he just shows up and just does reverse up tilt. I think Lunomato knows how silly that looked. He's like, wait, what am I doing? Ooh, that was good. Maybe I need to watch a little bit more Lunomato. You know what I'm saying? No. Okay, that was a little late on the reaction there. That might have been also like, what's it called? Yeah, I guess it was the landing lag actually caused him some trouble there. Oh, he doesn't play much Pit nowadays? Wait, is he the he's the brawler, right? Do I have that right? Yeah, Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear is pretty cool though. I'll give him that. Good switch. So this here is like the real problem in this matchup, where it's basically unless they drift in on us, we don't actually get like free punishes. So in this here, for example, he could potentially punish it if he like just calls out all of this space here. It's just like, you're just going to hang out there. But a lot of times when you send them out towards the blast zone, they can like control the drift so that they don't just walk into an aerial, which means you don't really get that much of a punish on that initial kind of situation. You have to figure out how to work with the remaining portion of that edge guard. Figure out a way to prevent them from getting center stage. A lot of the Yoshis that I played prioritized using down B to get a really low ledge grab, which is partly why I was thinking about Dare as the solution, because that's the trajectory, the pathway that they're taking to try and get back. They generally didn't feel that comfortable trying to land on me, which is good, but I probably didn't get as much advantage out of the other path than I wanted. No! That was it. Oh, he's gonna drop the game! Sometimes you just know. Gosh, F tilt is such a crazy move. Such a good starter at 0. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, wait, hold on. Unomato, no. You've been looking so good in this set. Oh. Wait, hold on, this was huge. That's interesting. I'm surprised he managed to sneak through that. I do sometimes do that sort of like multi-jump around, but generally people react to it quite easily. But I think it's the way that he kind of got through made it look like it needed a full hop. But then Mark was like, wait, what's going on? And then, yeah, the multi-hit nature of back air does make it pretty scary to try and challenge. Oh my gosh, he just about got that. That's actually wild that they can do this. He's at 85. And he just about gets killed by, like... Oh my gosh. That's wild. Oh, with the extra egg. That egg toss was pretty gamer. No! Leave my pit main alone. Ooh, he managed to sneak out of that in time. I guess at low percent that upper ain't gonna do very much. But this is gonna hurt. Oh no. Yeah. Dude, he almost got stabbed. That's scary. No. Yoshi's too strong. Okay, this arrow unfortunately didn't do too much for the situation. May as well have just reacted. Okay, huge arrow. Okay, I do want to see if that... The YouTube player is like extra broken because I used like an enormous playlist. I know that he's in shield, but like, oh my gosh. Sometimes it looks so silly, this game. That's his head is invincible, right? I'm pretty sure is what happens. That's probably what happened before too. Oh no, he got stuck on the platform. Okay, good job getting out of there. Gotta be careful with these nairs. Yeah, see, he's not using any orbiters. But that might be a matchup moment, not as familiar with where to use it. Because I feel like Ping was using it pretty well. Ouch. Oh no. That's it, yeah. It's just such a wide scooping move, you know? Catches so many things. It's strong. Very strong. Ooh, Kenchi. And Nada versus Mark. This is 6 years ago, so that's a little bit old. Tatsuyo. I don't even remember Tatsuyo. Interesting. Zarik is very good. Okay, we'll watch that set then. That's probably the only other one here that I would consider watching. Why is YouTube so dead? Holy cow. Look at this delay. So I'm gonna click play. Watch this. Hold on. Sorry. The play is fine, but the pause. It's too delayed, man. What if I go like this? I'll close it. I'll reopen it. Ah, much better. Everyone in Japan is a hidden boss, unfortunately. All of them are crazy good. The quality leaves a little bit to be desired, but that's okay. Yeah, I guess maybe next time I'm gonna have to go Dark Pit because everybody's going Dark Pit. Everyone but me. I'm out of the loop. Well, I guess Mr. Penguin. No, did he go Dark Pit? He did, didn't he? Wait. Oh gosh, not Chrome Help. Earlier was Ping going Pit or Dark Pit? He went regular Pit. Okay. But yeah, I could see it in the neutral aspect being a very big, important point. Nice forward air. Yeah, I think forward air is one of the better options against Yoshi at ledge there. I'm a fan of it. Yeah, that was a painful punish. Or like a painful setup. Oh no! Okay, you got away with it. Dang, that down tilt was actually kind of gamer. Also, chat, you'll be very happy to hear that I am not... This is very off topic. I'm really bad at... what's it called? Really bad at eating well. Last night I had instant noodles. Today I am having burgers. Home burgers. So I'm actually eating well. Today. Only. I just thought I'd let you know. Yeah, so this is the problem that I have with... I'll post it in the Discord later when I make. How about that? So this is the problem I have with doing it in disadvantage off stage, is this is really bad. And I think this could happen quite a bit Plus, they can confirm off of a lot of those sort of egg tosses. I don't know if the egg tosses that are set up as confirms would be easy to pull off against the Arbiters, but I wouldn't want to risk it. You generally just have to be really aware of like if they're coming off stage or not. And they can get out there way quicker than you think. This is also another problem with using Orbiter's Landing here. So Kenshi's doing basically what I would do too, which is canceling a little early because you're hoping that they interact with you here. But then you don't want to be caught down low or on the ground with it because you want to be able to cancel out fast enough to maybe be able to jump out or to shield right away when you hit the ground. But unfortunately, that also sets you up for those sort of up airs. And then down air is a really crazy move. Look at that, 72%. Ooh, big grab. Okay, so gotta watch out here. Okay, that forward air was pretty well spaced. Unfortunately, he did get hit by that. And see, this is the problem. So you see how, like, basically, like, again, locks you down positionally. This is why I'm not actually the biggest fan of Orbiters. It's just the way that it promotes poor landing. It encourages poor landing options. All right, good dash tech. There's a time and place for it, but I think that sometimes it's easy to over-rely on it. If we could fast fall with Orbiters, that'd be pretty cool. Dude, if we were DLC, we just wouldn't have any weaknesses. We would just be fully invincible. That would be cool. So this is where I think the dare can come into play, is when these sort of recoveries happen and then you dare this, obviously lower, probably like into the stage or something. But if you do that, then I think it could break it with the sour spot. Because it's generally a pretty meaty sour spot. But I'd have to confirm that with like labbing or something. We could see if we test that out later. I'm curious what percent it actually breaks out at. Oh! This was a gamer punish. Watch this. He's like, oh yeah? And he waits all the way until it's a landing. And then he gets his spike hit. Whoa. Kenshi, you mad lad. That was a nice nair. Mm. See, like this here. So if you see how he like puts his back air in, Yoshi has to basically unshield and try and decide to do what he does. At this distance, he could probably just do a nair. But at max spacing, it's really not that easy, and he could do something like this grab. He could unshield and try and do like a nair or a forward air pressing forward. But if we dash back, we get out of all the trouble. So that part's nice. It's just the problem is locking down Yoshi into that position, right? Because he's primarily going to be aerial based anyways. And so you kind of have to catch him overextending into a spot where you actually can put that pressure on. Uh-oh. No! Also, they were really good at two-framing me with down tilt. At least Pharaoh was. Dude! That grab's kind of big. That's not it. That's not it. That could be it. Okay, yeah. DI, mostly. If you SDI down on it, you might be able to live too. But I'm not really sure. Yeah, but that's going to be sweet spot dare, isn't it? I will share my thoughts on Footstool, but again, you don't have to, like, again, it's just my opinion. I think that Footstool is generally a pretty niche punish. So unless your character really gets something enormous out of it, So like for example, Steve or Wolf is actually a good example of another sort of footstool like that. I guess Joker too with footstool gun. But most of the time they're just way easier and more rewarding ideas over footstool. So that's why I'm generally not too concerned about learning all the sort of footstool setups and stuff like that, because it is, I would say, less practical. It definitely has its uses, but I don't think it's necessary to get to top level. That's how I describe my thoughts on footstools. I think phantom footstools are super good though, especially off stage when you're using it as a potential extra recovery option. I think that's huge, and I think it's also really big for getting you out of trouble in certain situations like juggles and stuff, because you get invincibility, which is the really big part there. So it usually lets you kind of get through situations. And that, I would say, might have a degree to which it's necessary for competitive play. Yeah. So this one here, if I was in this situation, I'm not going to say that I 100% would clean it up. But to make this easier for myself, I would reset after this, like he did here. And then I would basically position myself so that I could do a nair in place again. Because once you do that second nair, you can carry it out a little bit more, and probably would make me a little bit, or it'd probably make it a little bit easier for me to set this up into something like a forward air or whatnot finisher. It wouldn't kill, but it would basically make the follow-up punish a little bit easier. Oh gosh, he's air dodging. But I can understand from your perspective, Casual, how it's a pretty satisfying set of punishes to get, though, with footstool. You would have loved Smash 4 if you played Smash 4. I don't know if you did or not. All the Falcon stuff. And Greninja stuff. Or even the Peach Infinite was super cool. But actually, was that even actually, that might not have even been a footstool. I think it was, though. I can't remember. 1% Infinite. It was pretty hype. At least I think it was like 1%. It was pretty low damage. And also footstool down air into back air, like if Yoshi tries to down air your shield and your ledge. Footstool down air into back air. Well, you're saying at like really high percent, right? Like 130, 150. Maybe 150, honestly. I don't think it would work at 130. Yeah, that's normal. Go in for the up airs, yeah. Oh, that was almost huge. That's a very smart play overall. Oh! Wait, okay, if he got like a full-on confirm off of this, that would have been so insane. Like if he did down smash here or something. Or if he did the up tilt and it actually hit. I wish. Dude, Yoshi's so fast. Got him. See, I was waiting for stuff like this. Maybe not to this extent, because obviously there's a platform here, so this was maybe not the smartest nair. But I was expecting like stuff like maybe like a rising nair up close, or like prepping for something like a forward air and being able to dash in with an up smash. And I never found that opportunity. But I think that they were conscientious not to give me that. But I was thinking like, oh, this could be a thing in the matchup. But I think that Yoshi has a little bit too much ability to get around. Oh, that was nice. Yep. Well played, well played. No. No. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. That's it. Yeah. And so again, this is like one of those situations where landing with orbiters just gets you in so much trouble. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Oh, that hit. He needs it. Oh, no. I did think that up air was going to maybe work still, but it looks like it was only a nair moment. In that situation, 90% of the time I go for nair, just to be safe on the punish. It's only if I really think that it's going to lead way up there. Oh gosh, he's getting caught putting pressure a little too close, but there we go. Quick punish, and he got that off of, yeah, dodging an F smash, which is pretty risky. Sorry, risky to be fair, but it worked. That's what matters. Oh, that was a nice delay on that fair. Make sure that it's not a fast fall one, or not falling one. Alright, nice. And yeah, the problem is just there's not really any way to like prevent that way through. You'd have to catch them out of a hitbox or something, which chances are the Yoshi might be down to just kind of tank it. This is big. No. That egg toss was really good. Nice. Got him. Side B is honestly not all that bad either for the ledge situation. Okay, reset time. You take it from 34 to a hot 79, 44%. Or 70, sorry, 45%. Mabi. Oh, that was a down tilt back air. That was a nice back air. Okay, maybe a little bit too fixated on the double jump. Or the jump call out. But that's okay. He's literally got 3 stocks to work with here. I start doing like falling up airs and stuff for the strong hit to kill. That might be it, just on its own. No, dude. You put a forward air out. Got him. Alright, well played, Kenshi. Well played. Alright. Well, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm gonna go back to the game real quick. I'm gonna see if I can try and get that. If I can try and see where the percentage for breaking the armor is with downer. I just want to know roughly where they are. Because down smash probably does it the quickest. But after that is like maybe sweet spot down air. Back air is very strong too, but I don't know if it does quite enough. See, that broke, for example, and that was at 62%. I can't tell if that was the sweet spot or not. No, dude. Come on. Okay, no, it doesn't actually break it at this percent at least. And that was at 62. So what about like at 72? Also, maybe I should have Staling on. So it still didn't break it there. But would back air break it? Dude. Okay, it does. Alright, so back air breaks it next. And then down air breaks it when? Here? At 80s? Is that where it would break? Yeah, it breaks there. So high 70s it'll break. Well, not quite, actually. So the sweet spot didn't do it. Sour spot didn't do it. But this percent, okay, sweet spot still didn't do it. But the sour spot does. Okay, alright. Cool. There's one other thing I wanted to try interactions out with there. And that is with side B. I don't know when side B will actually break the armor. So like the grounded version obviously will break it very quickly, but the reason why I'm mentioning I don't know is because there is a period where you can kind of like go off stage with it, and I could see that happening a lot in this matchup, where you could maybe just try and kind of put something there to cause some trouble. But I wonder. The problem is that there's not really going to be an easy way for me to full on test this. He's not really going to go into a spot that makes it easy for me. I also was hoping that it would maybe just kill on its own. But as you can see, he actually does get a chance to do something about it. What if I down smash right away? No, I can't. I'm in lag. What if I'm higher percent? Okay, so this one actually did break it still, even with the aerial version at this percent. I was still in lag? I was a little laggy. I'm trying to find the percent where it might just kill straight up. No, didn't kill straight up, but let's try good old like 80%. No, they can just make it back. Okay, fair enough. I'll beat. What if I go like this? Oh, not that. No! Go off stage. Dude. Dude, it stabbed me. I think. Or maybe it caught me just before the Arbiters came out. Something like that. Is there anything else I even want to do today? I don't know if there's anything else that I actually was planning on doing. I just really wanted to look at Yoshi stuff. That's really it, to be honest. I guess there's one other thing I could test real quick, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure that Yoshi's ledge hang can be down tilted. I wonder if it can be 2-framed, but maybe that's a little bit too much to ask. It's also going to be pretty hard to actually 2-frame. But this is all I really care about here. I just want to see if it works. Really? No, it doesn't. I actually can't. That's only down to. Never mind. I stand corrected. Well, to be honest, I probably will end stream here. There's not really too much else that I really wanted to cover. I wanted to just take a look at Yoshi, spend a little time practicing in the game. I guess I can summarize some notes here. So the main idea was orbiters, recovery eggs when Yoshi is recovering. And what else was there? There's like the up air, down tilt frame trap. It's kind of nice. Is there anything else that I really felt that I wanted to take a look at? Oh yeah, back air dash back seems pretty strong in the matchup. Something like that. I think that would be a decent start here, and I think that otherwise we're doing all right. But I'll have to spend some more time grinding out this matchup. Most of it's going to come down to probably playing online sets. Yeah. I'll end stream for today here, and look forward to another stream on Monday. We'll be back to viewer arenas. But take care, and I hope you all have a good rest of your evening or day. See you, casual.